Our philosophy in doing the project since we started to practice is to design general space for the everyday life. So we have special attention for the quality of use, the liberty of the freedom of use, how people can appropriate the space, whatever the function, especially in housing, because it's very important. Housing is very important for everyone. So for us, every space must be generous, comfortable, full of light, of view, and create all the conditions to have a very nice everyday life. In this way, we like to work on designing always extra space, free space, which gives to the inhabitants the freedom of doing things in combination with the most defined and programmed space. So it's why the exhibition here at ECO tries to explain this way of designing projects, and it's presented in three parts, three important topics, which are the pillars of our approach. The first one is about the free space. Free space is a space that everyone should have in addition to the normal space, and to develop his or her creativity and the life of every day. And in general, in the projects, we aim to give a big amount of this free space. Our goal is always to think that doubling the space would be a good goal, and we try to do it especially for housing. And of course, without increasing the cost and the budget of the construction, because we are especially attentive to make architecture affordable. The second part is also an important topic for us, is about transformation. For me, many reasons. Transformation is making do with what we have, is taking care of the already there, of the existing, because it has a value that is the first important part of every project. So we have this kind of radical intention to never demolish. Always add, transform in order to do more and better. And the transformation is not only this economy of the existing, the economy of territory, the economy of gesture, but also it has an important social impact, because it also takes care to the value of the life which is already there. And it's also the opportunity with the existing to provide with this extra space that we like to do in any project. And the third part shows in a way what is at the end, what is there. It's spaces where people can have a very nice life. And the last part is named Habiter. Habiter, inhabiting, it's the fact, the quality of being somewhere and being well somewhere. So it's presented as a form of 9 short videos that we took in 9 built projects, all at the same time, quite recently. And it's only show how people are using the space that we have built. It's not an explanation of the project, but just to look how people are living, and also their explanation, their reactions concerning the space.
When we considered this exposition for Fondation ECO, we wanted to take it as a new project, And then we had to work again with our best friend as architect, who is space. In fact, we have only one material that is interesting for us, space. Space in relation with light, sun, air, and life of people. So it is exactly what we wanted to do here in the space of the Fondation ICO. So it means that it starts from Madrid, it starts from Calle Sorillo. There's very narrow street, and here you see on the street there is a big, large photo of women looking to something that happens behind the walls. So it means that already the space is in contact only by this image of people trying to see what is invisible behind the walls of the Fondation ICO, and then this image brings you naturally to the entrance, to the door. You go inside, and immediately on the left you find a very high and wide space, a space very, very white with the light, and that is covered with papers, with texts, with drawings, plans and sections that are so important for us because it's our way of thinking architecture with these abstract lines in which the project appears. I remember one very famous architect we worked with, Lacaton Vassal. He was always saying, when the plans are beautiful, the space is beautiful, and people inside will feel comfortable. And on this section, with these plans, we show also what Anne was explaining about this free space. How in each project it is possible to find some situations under the pilotis, on the balconies, on the terrace, on the roof, where the free space appears. Then, when we turn at the end of the space, the ceiling becomes lower, and we enter in a sort of kind of labyrinth, very interesting, very, very complex, very narrow in a way, in which we have developed in a sort of cinematographic situation, 3 lines of projects, starting from the first project we have done, some competitions that we have lost or some competitions that win, and then the project were finished. And we see chronologically, yes, the 30 years of our activity with Anne from the beginning, remembering some early projects, very, very early projects that, in fact, today we forgot them a little, but in fact they are for us extremely present in our daily preoccupations today. So intention, preservation of nature, preservation of the existing, making with, and this is this continuation of all these projects crosses all this kind of labyrinth, taking the stairs, and when you climb a little more, then you arrive a very, very large space, flat space, with the columns supporting the floor above. And curiously, this space is like an agora. It's a very large space, and the films that are presented there, they take all the height of the walls, and curiously, it is like if they open windows to many situations in the world, many places, many projects, and they describe the life of inhabitants, how people enjoy the place, how people are creative, inventive, take the opportunity of freedom of space to just to inhabit. to feel well. So you can stay there because you have some cushions, and you can sit, you can read the text that are below the images, and after that there is a little stair. You take 5 or 6 steps down, and you are in Calle Zurillo again, and you go to Madrid somewhere else.
So I remember at the very beginning, I became architect by intuition. I didn't know exactly what kind of work it was, but I had the intuition that it was very large, very open, that we could touch many subjects, many places, and in my mind it was exactly what I was expecting from a job. And I must say that the studies, as well as along the practice that we had together with Jean-Philippe these last 30 years, I never regretted to do these studies and to make the job, because every project has been indeed a new opportunity to discover, to think, to different ways of making spaces. Even if we work always with the same philosophy, the same approach, the projects are always different because the conditions are different, context, peoples, everything is different. And we, at the beginning, we always fix strong objectives, high objectives. But also we have our convictions, our dreams, and we want absolutely to achieve all of this for us, but also for the people we are working with. And all the projects are in this way extremely interesting, and the next one will be even more interesting. So it's why we arrive until now with all these projects that we all liked, enjoy to do them. And in a way we always find interest, and at the end the pleasure of finishing and giving the place to people, and to have the pleasure to see that people, inhabitants, always continue the projects. So what I could say that for an architect, and it's important to have dreams, to start with your dreams, and to think that in the real life it's exactly like at school. We can continue to have this kind of curiosity, freshness. And it's important to think that we work for our dreams, but more important is to work hard to achieve the dreams of the others.
We like to go to schools, school architecture, to talk with students, to explain what we are doing. And each time we see important interest from the students. It seems that we are not so old, and they are perhaps not so young. We feel really good relations, and probably because today we still keep in mind our intention, our objectives, our dreams that we had when we are at school. And I think this is important for the students. They are making very interesting studies, and they have to fight and to make a lot of energy in order to keep this dream that they have when they are students. So my wish for them, it is to say, stay students all your life, even in your career and professional life. You have to keep your attitude, your approach as a student, with your dreams, with your wishes, because it will probably seem impossible for people. They will talk about, I want to do that. They will say, no, it's not possible. It's possible because you want. It's possible because it's your dream, and all with what you learn, you can do it. So You can do it for you can do it for the others. And this is, I think, the very, very, very important. I think for them, it's very important to be curious. Curiosity is the first point. It is to observe with a high intensity, not only a very quick glance on the things. No, observe with a maximum of intensity. Listen to people, to inhabitants, with a lot of intensity, because this is the first point to do. Observation, listening about some other fields close to architecture. Listen to economy, listen to geography, to medicine, to horticulture, to agriculture. And by listening, by observing, you will become not specialist, but you will have your own intuitions to go inside the project and to use these different fields for the project. And after that, you will have to work for specialists they can calculate. But to go with your own intuition on all these fields is extremely important. To control the quantity, the hierarchy, the subtlety of how much of this you place, how much of this you place precisely. So I think it's keep optimist for young people. You have to be optimist because there is so many things still to do, because you have so many situations where people suffer from bad housing, for situations that you cannot support. So, and for all of that, if you deploy your energy, you will find the solutions. So keep optimist.